Namaste World Raiser, Sabina and Roger here. Let's continue with Who is Patanjali and What is Yoga, part 2 of 2.
Yeah, let's dive right in. So, excellent video.
Yeah.
Learning a lot. Thanks to everybody who commented on part number 1 to clarify some of this confusion. Absolutely love you guys. So yeah, let's dive in and get that wisdom bubbling.
Yeah, thank you, Project Shivoham, for making this wonderful video.
Yeah, check them out.
Back in the year 1961, a French cardiologist conducted a research in India about voluntary control of heart with yoga. A lot of experiments were done on 4 to 5 highly proficient yoga gurus who can stop their heart. Yes, you heard it right. Who can voluntarily stop their heart to almost a steady state during the deep state of yoga. Sri Tirumala Krishnamacharya, yoga guru who is highly revered, who practiced yoga for his lifetime. So a research was conducted on Sri Tirumala Krishnamacharya along with 4 other yoga gurus, where they could stop their heart. You can see the ECG or the electrocardiogram reports here. The one which is highlighted is in a deep state of yoga of Sri Tirumala Krishnamacharya, where he took control of his own heart and he slowed it down, not with an intention to slow down, but when he enters that highest level of state of mind, which is chitta, with a strong practice of pranayama, even the involuntary functions of the body can be brought into control. And anyone who meditates at that state, like I said, will be in the rock solid state of mind and body as well. A person taking control of involuntary functions of a body might go against the current laws of modern medicine, but that's the limitation of modern medicine, where yoga goes much beyond that. It is just that we haven't discovered fully the potential of yoga. And this research paper details about how the yogis in India back then took complete control of their body, including the involuntary functions. This is the power of pranayama. And Hatha Yoga says that if pranayama is done in a right way, it will cure many bodily ailments. And if it is not done properly, it will bring all kinds of new ailments. So that is the reason yoga should always be administered under a supervision of a guru. Now the Ashtanga Yoga, which we saw just now, the 8 steps, the journey from Pashu to Pashupati via the 4 levels of mind. It all might sound a bit abstractive or difficult to follow, but that's what it is. It's not so easy. It takes a lifetime of practice. And at the highest state, just like how we saw, the human body responds into a totally different direction beyond the understanding of modern science. In my opinion, the true potential of yoga is not really discovered by the current generation. Hope we will understand it in the years to come.
Yeah, me too.
As the Ashtanga Yoga is very complex to understand, that is the reason I pulled up this most simplistic definition about yoga from Bhagavad Gita. We do our duty and stay indifferent to success or failure, and that is yoga, the most simplistic form of yoga which each of us can practice. Now let's get to the third and the last chapter, Kundalini Yoga. A lot of commercialization, misconceptions and misunderstandings are entangled with Kundalini Yoga, especially the chakras. It is very loosely used, and of late there have been a lot of commercialization with respect to Kundalini Yoga, and we want to just do our bit to clarify what exactly is Kundalini Yoga. As I just mentioned, yoga is a journey of a man or a woman from a state of Pashu to becoming to the state of a Pashupati. And this journey is called as yoga. And there are multiple paths one can choose in this journey. There is Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, Sankhya Yoga, and there is Kundalini Yoga. Kundalini Yoga is considered as the most powerful formats of yoga and also a very, very risky procedure to attain the chitta state of mind. Now let's take a look again at the human anatomy. As we all know, human brain is the governing authority for the entire human body, and we have the nervous system, muscular system and the skeletal system in the operational hierarchy. The brain governs all these 3 systems top down. That's the basic of human anatomy, as we all know. As we saw the anatomy as per Yoga Siddhantam, where there are 4 states of mind rather than physical classification, same way the human body as per Yoga Siddhantam is classified into nadis. A nadi is an energy channel that flows right from the brain up until the end point where the intended action is performed. A nadi is a transversal flow of energy which cuts through nervous system, muscular system and the skeletal system, which again in turn is governed by the brain. Let's take an example. Do as I say. Lift the little finger of your right hand. Now the moment you heard my words, your brain understands that I'm asking you to lift the little finger of your right hand. It understands that what is right hand and what is the little finger in the right hand, and sends a signal from your brain to the little finger which you wish to lift, and that's how the action is performed. Now as per human anatomy, this entire process goes through your nervous system, muscular system and the skeletal system because of a signal that was fired from the brain to lift the finger. Now this entire flow of energy right from your brain up until your little finger of right hand could be called as one nadi. So as per Yoga Siddhantam, instead of classifying them independently, Yoga Siddhantam classifies the entire human body in forms of nadis, and there are 72,000 of such energy channels in human body. Again, like I said, it is not a comparison between the human anatomy as we know today versus Yoga Siddhantam. They again complement each other. They do not contradict. Just that the nadis are not practically visible, but are a logical classification about how the energy flows right from your brain to different parts of your body. Now that we have a brief understanding about nadis, which is the energy flow, coming to the Kundalini Yoga, it is all about how we channelize this energy flow in human body towards the brain to realize the chitta state of mind. And to realize the chitta state of mind, the brain needs to be pumped up with a lot of energy. And how you concentrate the entire energy in your body and pump it up towards your brain to realize that chitta state of mind is called as Kundalini Yoga in very, very simple words.
Cool. Pump it
If
up.
this feels a bit abstractive in nature, then I would again reflect back to the research that was conducted about how voluntarily you can take control of your heart and other involuntary functions in your body. Just that we don't have that enough understanding and maturity. When I am saying we, it's you and me together. We don't have that enough understanding about what is the true potential of yoga. And Kundalini Yoga is about one such state of yoga where a person can master the art of controlling the energy flow in his or her own body. And this is the reason why Kundalini Yoga is considered as a very, very dangerous practice. And absolutely it is not recommended for anyone. Kundalini Yoga is not something that we pay a fee and learn from somebody from a yoga institute or something. That is absolutely nonsense. A guru who has mastered the art of Kundalini Yoga, in first place, he or she will never teach it for money or any materialistic things. And second thing, Kundalini Yoga is not taught to everyone who asks for it. The guru will assess whether a person is fit to learn Kundalini Yoga, both physically and mentally, and only then he or she will be taught Kundalini Yoga. So all the commercialization that is happening in the name of Kundalini Yoga, just don't trust them. There are other formats of yoga like Hatha Yoga, the simple asanas, which are actually meant for everybody.
Good points.
To theoretically understand what is Kundalini Yoga, one can refer one of the most credible sources, that is from Swami Vivekananda. He wrote a book back in 1800s called as Raja Yoga. As part of this book, the anatomy of human body and how the Kundalini Yoga works is explained out in a very subtle and detailed manner. And this is what Swami Vivekananda wrote in his book Raja Yoga about the anatomy of Kundalini Yoga. There are three most important nadis or the energy channels in human body called as Ida, Pingala and Sushumna. So this is what he says. If you take the cross section of a human spine, which is in the shape of a butterfly or a 8, the right column is called as Ida and the left column is Pingala. And the midpoint or the mid channel that runs straight across the spinal cord is called as Sushumna Nadi. So these are the three most important energy channels that are very crucial for Kundalini Yoga. In every human body, right at the bottom where the spinal cord hits the pelvis, that is where a corpus energy, a reservoir of energy is concentrated and lies dormant. And this reservoir of energy symbolizes Adi Shakti, the sacred feminine energy, and is called as Kundalini, and is metaphorically represented as a coiled snake. The energy present in any living thing is considered and revered as the manifestation of Adi Shakti herself. And pumping up this corpus energy from your pelvis through the spinal cord of Ida, Pingala and Sushumna nadis up until the brain to eventually push it from Manas state to Chitta state. This entire process is called as Kundalini Yoga.
Cool.
Fascinating.
Now coming to chakras, the most commonly and loosely used word, chakras. So now chakras are the core energy centers in the path of Kundalini energy as it moves as part of Kundalini Yoga right from pelvis to the brain. This is a bit abstract topic, and this is also a very, very commercialized element of yoga. And remember, no one teaches Kundalini Yoga for money. No one should teach it for money. And it is not a course that will be taught or learnt over a period of time. It takes a lifetime to just understand Kundalini Yoga, let alone practicing and mastering it.
Oh.
The most mystical definition about Kundalini Yoga is the unification of Shiva and Shakti in a human body. That is the ultimate state what anyone can realize once he or she gets to the epitome of Kundalini Yoga. So wrapping it up all, it was Patanjali who gave the Patanjali Yoga Sutras, which is one of the foundational texts for yoga. And then we have Bhagavan Sri Krishna who gave Bhagavad Gita, which is also a foundational text for yoga. And then we have Yajnavalkya Maharishi who gave Yoga Yajnavalkyam, which is another primordial text for yoga. And then we have Vasistha Maharshi who gave Yoga Vasistham, which also talks about yoga at great detail. Like this, there are many scriptures which detailed out yoga and has been part of the Indian culture since thousands of years. And each of these great texts on yoga explains about different types of yoga like Bhakti Yoga, Kundalini Yoga, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, and there are many other formats of yoga. Like I said, yoga is about a journey of a Pashu becoming a Pashupati. So there are different paths in this journey that one can choose to pick up. And these scriptures detail about different formats of yoga. And if we further zoom down into Ashtanga Yoga alone, there we have 8 steps: Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi, which we saw. And in this entire ocean of yoga, it's only asana that is widely known. But there is a lot more than just asanas. Yoga is a lifetime process of finding answer for one question. Just one simple question. Who am I? And as always, thanks for watching.
Om Namah Shivaya. Wow. Okay, so I have a question regarding the spine. Now that we're talking about it. Mine is dead. I never feel anything there. I never felt anything down here.
Yeah, well, we're not there yet, right? So
It's
plus
like
we're not practicing
zero.
Kundalini Yoga, so that's something
It's
where you're
like-
actively trying to get that serpent to rise. And yeah, it's important to understand and realize, where we are at on the spiritual journey, because that's part of it. And it doesn't mean that nothing's happening. We still are having spiritual realizations on the journey, but they're more conceptual. We haven't gone into the practice of what this type of yoga is all about, where you're actually doing the pranayama, you're doing the breath work. For us, I see us being more on like step 1 and 2, right? Just getting a hold of our ego selves, and then modifying and adapting our behavior to be more kind and spiritual, and then internally as well. But I don't think Kundalini and that Shakti is going to start to move up until you actually start
to do these practices.
doing that type of practices.
Okay,
yeah.
no, I'm just meaning, with all the mystical states I experienced mostly for the last year. I thought if you are in these states, that that they have something to do with that, but even in those states, it was, it's actually the opposite. It's more like my belly, like there's something.
Well, that's true. So that is happening. So it could be that chakra, being active, right?
But it sounds like it's literally the spine, and for me, it feels like if there is something happening, if I get into more beautiful states, it's like literally, it's all happening here. It's not happening there.
Yeah,
it's a fascinating topic.
Totally. Does anybody know? Has anybody experienced
happening?
the Kundalini Shakti and then that energy, the serpent rising? Anybody experienced that? And if they want to tell us about it, Yeah, we'd appreciate that. I was taught by Dr. David R. Hawkins. He mentioned it. Don't worry about the Kundalini, right? That'll happen on its own. We don't need to force anything, right? You just kind of let it go.
I'm not planning to, or I'm not gonna be sitting here. Well, maybe focusing on my spine. No, I don't know. I'm not interested because I literally know nothing about it.
Yeah, it basically,
like-
I think he's saying don't do it.
Yeah.
Like just let it go until you
no.
actually want to. Then you go to
A teacher.
an actual teacher. Speaking on the commercialism of the chakras, yes.
Yeah. A t-shirt is one result of that.
Boom. Yeah, chakras. No big deal.
All open.
Mm-hmm.
All. What are they doing? They're circling.
Spinning. Yeah.
Spinning.
Radiating the love and the light.
No blocked chakras.
Not on this shirt. Totally radiant. Yeah, but that was a cool video. I love the images. Yeah, this one here, the Kundalini, because we knew about the Shushumna, and then we practiced
I knew
those.
it
those
from
breathing.
Sadhguru's book, right?
Yeah, also, and we also learned about it in Tibetan Buddhism, right? Remember when we were doing the breathing down the one channel and then up the other one and out? Wasn't your thing?
No, I didn't. Yeah, I do remember absolutely during Kopan November course.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't know what I was
It's
doing.
exactly the same as what's being described here.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
It's all connected, people.
It's all connected.
Yeah, so very cool. I love that he even Swami Vivekananda in there. And I actually have that book on Kindle. I have
Did you
Ford's
read
book.
it?
No, haven't read it yet.
Okay, peeps. Let us know everything.
Everything. yeah.
Everything. If you practice yoga, what kind of yoga? Where are you at? Did the serpent rise? Is it already tingling here in your neck? Or
Yeah, and how does Kundalini Yoga and then the other yogas he explained, how does it relate to Kriya Yoga? Because Kriya Yoga,
oh yeah,
honestly,
where's
is,
Kriya Yoga in there?
yeah, that's one of the forms of yoga that we've heard the most about recently, people talking about it. Sadhguru, yeah, Shriyam. And then how does it fit into this dynamic of the yogas?
It sounds like Patanjali lived before Krishna.
No.
But it was listed. He was listed first. So no one knows?
Yeah, nobody knows exactly when he lived, but the analysis estimated it was between the 2nd and 4th centuries
Common
CE.
era.
So, yeah.
Oh, so very, like now. Very recent.
Yeah, so while not
Not
pretty
that,
recent,
like
but
2,000 years ago.
200 to 400 years after the birth of Christ, I believe is what it's talking about there. But anyways.
But that's so cute then, because...
Yes,
Well,
Sri Krishna is basically, boom, here it is. Simple, structured, formatted, and then basics in that sense, but extremely profound. And then Patanjali came along and made it more diverse and got into the nitty gritty of expounded on it a great deal, right?
okay. Is that like one of the most recent stories we hear in regards to Shiva and Vishnu? Because usually they're so old. And now it's like we have Patanjali, 200 years after Jesus. It's like, the snake incarnated as Patanjali is like...
That's great.
That's the most... Isn't that the most recent? Or do we have any
sort
other...
of incarnation, yeah.
Do we know about any other very recent person that was like literally the incarnation of Lord Vishnu's snake or
something like that? Depends, right? So we've come across, Neem Karolai Baba was supposedly the incarnation of Hanuman or an aspect of Hanuman. So there is still things happening, and then I think it depends on the sage's intention and focus while they're becoming a Pashupati, right? And then they're attaining samadhi and then enlightenment, and then after the fact, were they demonstrating? Are they an avatar? Are they an incarnation? So
yes,
depends.
But Neem Karoli Baba, by the way, amazing documentary on YouTube. He was still born, whereas this like a snake fell from the sky.
Like a story like that.
That
was incredible, right?
Well, okay then.
Yeah.
I love it.
Instant snake baby.
Yes, you know what? I probably laughed and giggled way too much during this video. I caught myself every now and then, but I cannot not. This excites me, and it's very hot again here in this room.
Yeah.
So I get into these states of joy that express themselves as laughters and giggles.
Yeah, the joyful state. So that's also on the journey to become more blissful and happy and joyful. So we need to do, people, whether you're practicing yoga or not, if you're on the spiritual journey, taking in the wisdom, opening the heart, opening the mind, and being what we are learning. So we got to be the change. We have to raise ourselves.
And raise the world. Thank you so much, everyone. We love you.
Peace.